Good morning, friends. Robin here. Welcome back to my garden. I made a few videos last year, video vlogs of my garden, and I was watching them, and there's just so much growth in my garden. I wanted to show you guys. So here, before I get there, I'm just going to show you the couple things I have potted. Here are these are sunflower seedlings that are growing. I planted some in the middle of the pot, and then I just have some in smaller seedling cups sprouting, and I'm gonna sort of just plant those all over the property. So that's one thing I have going. And then over here I have this cherry tomato that I purchased. I had really bad seasonal affective depression disorder this year, and it took me a long time to get started gardening. I just wasn't feeling motivated to do anything at all. So I was probably late April, early May before I started to get inspired. So I ended up buying this cherry tomato, bio-organic. I got it from Costco, like I buy everything. These are yellow tomatoes, and they're starting to get fruit. I actually picked one yellow one off this morning. I cut the suckers and some leaves off the bottom, so it will put more energy into the growth and ripening of the fruit. So, I'm pretty excited that there is a lot of fruit on there right now. So I'm excited for that. I have some things here in pots. I have some broccoli. This one, get out of the sun here, is starting to head. I have a little head here, so hopefully, and these are some cucumber seedlings that I will plant in the main garden in a few days or weeks when they are big enough. And then I just planted there's little tiny, some different lettuce, or a mix of different lettuces for like spring mix in these pots. There are holes in the leaves here. The moths are getting to them, but they're still starting to produce some little here's another one, a little bit of a broccoli crown. So they're going, they're growing. It's gonna make some broccoli for me. And I went to festival this weekend and I bought some plants. I got some rosemary and some holy basil, or tulsi. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, so now we're gonna head over to the main garden. Last year, again, there was nothing here. So now let me show you my overgrown garden. There's just so much going on in here. All right, so these are my raspberries. I planted them last year. They were 3 tiny little plants, and they just really exploded. I did cut back some of the old canes, but I missed 2 over there. So this year I'm gonna cut them back a lot because they just grow like crazy. But I am starting to get some lots of these little raspberries here. So I'm super excited for having fresh raspberries in a couple of weeks. Here is a nice, big, healthy blueberry plant. Lots of blueberries here. And you know what? People always ask me about birds taking my fruit. I'm not seemingly having a big problem with the birds. I have problems with my strawberries with ants and slugs. I'll talk about that in a minute, but my dog and my 2 cats hang out in this garden, so I think they're like deterring the birds from coming in here because the birds haven't really touched anything. Over here I have a new plant. It's a gooseberry. My grandparents used to grow this. It reminds me of my childhood. So it's producing some gooseberries. I did something different. It was growing in this grow bag, and instead of taking it out because it was already had so much growth established, I just sort of cut a bunch of holes in the bottom of the growth bag, and then I sort of just dug down a couple inches and I left it. I'm gonna leave it in the bag and just let it root out that way. Here is my compost. So it's big. I need a lot of room to compost because we have a lot of yard waste. And so I saw something somewhere, some video somewhere, sustainable, permaculture type thing, that if you have compost like this, you can actually plant trees around it, and it will sort of feed the trees as it breaks down. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. I have plans for this. Here that are some strawberries. Strawberries are doing great. They grow wonderfully here, but I am having a problem with ants and slugs getting at my berries before I do. So here's some green berries. They are producing a lot of strawberries, but again, the ants and the slugs are getting at them. So what I'm gonna do is, once this is all filled up with compost, I'm gonna turn it into a strawberry tower, and we'll see. It might be too many nutrients or nitrogen or whatever from the breaking down, but I'm gonna do this experiment, see if it works, and I'm gonna put like and I'll start at the bottom obviously and work my way to the top. I'll like shove a whole bunch of peat moss in there and a strawberry and some hay, and we'll see if they grow, because I do need to get my strawberries off the ground so that they are not getting decimated by the ants and the slugs. So my garden is like totally overgrown, but I don't care. It's the way I like it. I got a lot of weeds in here, but I love the weeds. Weeds are just unwanted plants, and a lot of them are actually very beneficial. I have tons of mint everywhere. So over here, here's some mint. Mint's just growing up everywhere. In this pot right here, I put some cilantro seeds down, and they should be sprouting soon. And then over here, in these two pots, I also have some cilantro seeds. Some cilantro seedlings are coming up, and they are growing. So I'm going to show you now my pride and joy, which is this blackberry bush. And I planted it last year, and it didn't produce a lot. It was its first year, but this year there are tons and tons of blossoms and little blackberries. Blackberries are my favorite. When you buy them from the store, they're garbage. They pick them way before they're ripe, so they just never get that good sweet blackberry taste. But when you pick them right off the vine and they're ripe, they're my absolute favorite. Over here I have another smaller blueberry. I need to sort of cut back this for Cynthia so it makes more room for my blueberry. But these blueberry bushes that I bought from Irvine's, from the reputable garden store, are doing so much better than these little crappy blueberry plants. Here's one that I bought from the grocery store, the box store. So if you want to plant berries, do not buy them at the grocery store. I know they're cheap, but they're just not that good. They're not very high quality. Get the high quality ones from the reputable garden stores, and you will definitely have a better harvest. So that's all I have for today. I just wanted to share that with you because I'm so proud of my garden and what I've grown and what I've done here. Again, if you go back to my videos from last year, there's like nothing. This is like a blank slate, and now it's totally overgrown. So I'm focusing on perennials. I'm a lazy gardener, so I want food to come up every year and fruit to come up every year that I don't have to plant. You know, I will do some annuals. I'm gonna do some cucumbers in the front fence here. I'll weed all that and then put the cucumbers over there. And I do eventually want to have my husband build a raised bed for me and a small greenhouse so that I can grow more food. So trying, my purpose or my goal or my desire is to turn this little suburban property into a sustainable mini suburban food forest. So that is what I'm doing here, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope, there goes Bailey barking. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope I can inspire somebody to grow something. Gardening is so therapeutic, so healing, mentally, physically. It's good for the earth, it's good for your brain, it's good for your body. So get growing, grow something. All right, thanks so much for being with me in this way today. I love you guys, and I will see you guys later.